right, so we have Hudson. We're gonna do his go home video with all of his commands that he knows. So to start off with, we're gonna get him into a sit. And for sit, we usually, we just bend our arm up at the elbow like this and ask him to sit. So I'm gonna do that again, because he did it just on the verbal cue first. Hudson, sit. Good. Yes, good boy. From here, I can ask him to go into a down. And for his down, we just point right to the ground and tell him to down. Hudson, down. Yes, good boy. All right, I can ask him to stay from here. And to do that, I am just going to put my hand right in front of his face and ask him to stay. Hudson, stay. I can walk away. Good. Yes. Good boy. Down. So I picked up the leash. That's a big trigger for a dog. Just because I pick up the leash doesn't mean you can get up. So I just put him right back into a down, and then once he's content, I'm gonna let him up again. Okay. Okay is their release command. We usually just tap our leg twice and tell him okay in like a little happy giddy voice, huh? From here, we have his place board out here. I'm gonna ask Hudson to go get on a place. And how I do that is I just point to the object that I want to label as place, and I tell him place. Hudson, place. Place. Good. I don't care, I'm not picky if he sits or downs, as long as he stays on place and he knows that he's got to hang out there for a while. Good boy. Stay. You can walk away. I'm going to walk around Abby here. Place is any object off the ground that he can distinguish from the ground. So it could be a couch cushion, a dog bed, a corunda bed like this one. Nice distraction, a car's going by. He stayed right there. Nope, so he popped off. Place. I'm just gonna put him right back there. Good. I'm gonna pick up the leash. Good boy. Okay. Good. All right. Now for Hudson's recall, for Hudson's recall, I'm gonna have him, Hudson, sit, sit. I'm gonna have him stay, and then I'm gonna call him. For his recall, we usually say their name first, and then we use come for his recall word. We usually get down super low, act super excited. You can go down. Hudson, stay. We go down to the ground, act super excited, more excited than the thing that he's getting into, basically. Hudson, come! Yes, good boy! And for come, I like to grab their collar, and I don't say yes, which is his reward word, until I have hold of his collar. We use that for safety reasons. If I need to recall him from something dangerous, so that way he doesn't do just a drive-by past me, and I have a hold of his collar here, right? All right, we're gonna go into some loose leash walking, and for that, I always say pick a side. It doesn't matter what side. I personally like my right side. A lot of our other trainers like their left, but we try to train them on both sides, so it's a personal preference for you. Ready? Sit. Hudson's a little excited. He is fresh out of the crate. Sit. Good. I always say have the leash down so there's no tension on the leash, but if he walks too much in front of you, there is a little bit of tension. So you can kind of pull him back where you want him to be. To get him to walk with you, I just say, let's go. Good. Boy, I know the snow is crunching. I think he pulls forward a little bit. Hudson, this way. I'm gonna switch sides and bring him back this way. Good. Watch, he pulls forward a little bit. Hudson, Good boy. Change direction. Good. Good. Another thing you can do if he's pulling on the leash, just heel pick. And for that, we just kind of turn and walk right into him. Yes, good boy. Good. And that kind of gives the no slack on the leash. Good. Instead of having to yank him back constantly. Pulled a little bit, turned around, went the other way. So we're going to do his wait command with this door over here. Once we get inside, then we'll show you guys his hug. So I'm going to switch him on this side. I want him on this side for this. So for Hudson, for his wait command, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to ask him to wait. And then I'm going to open the door. It doesn't matter if he's sitting, standing, laying down, as long as he waits until I say okay for him to get into the door. Hudson, wait. Good. Another dog on the other side. Perfect. Okay. Good boy. Good. Good boy. All right. Hudson, sit.
Alrighty, so this is Hudson again doing his training for his hug command. He is still in the training process. It's only been a couple weeks. So I do recommend working on relaxation response with him first, which I have not done yet. So you'll see what happens when he has not had that exercise first. You'll notice that he's a little bit excited. As soon as I got in this position, he was very excited to get on me. So I'm asking him to stay because ultimately we do want him to learn just me sitting down is not an automatic invitation. I don't want him just clobbering you. I want him to get on me when I ask for it, and I want him calm while he's on me. Not being all crazy and rolling on his back and kicking his feet and using his mouth and being a teenager. So having him do a stay or do a place off you and being in this position and not automatically getting in this position and immediately inviting him, because otherwise he will start to think this position is a cue to get on. And we don't want him to think that. I'd like you to be able to sit down in peace at times and not have to be covered with him if you aren't looking for that. So we're going to start adding a verbal command. Currently, his command is for me to pat to invite him up here. And I'm not doing that clearly because he will be on me in a second. But in order to add a verbal cue, first we have to have a cue that he knows in order to trigger the behavior, so that we can attach association of the verbal cue with a known behavior. So he has to have the behavior first. So in order for us to add a verbal cue, which isn't necessarily important because you have a visual cue, which he's pretty good about. But if you want to add a verbal cue, you will say the new cue first, then give the cue he knows, not at the same time. So I'm going to release him from his stay. Okay. Hug. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Very good. That stay first helped him calm down a lot. A few minutes ago we were working on this and he was very excitable, being very silly, and now he's being very good. Ultimately, I may want to invite him up closer on you. I understand that, but as you can see, he's still a little bit silly. And I don't want to encourage him to be that close up to your face if he might start kicking and rolling on his back and being silly. So it's a process that he's really only at the beginning of, but he's got a good start, right? You're being a good boy, yeah. But when he's on you, we want him to be calm. Huh, I know. Can you come up here? Is it hard to balance up here? Up. Good. So you can see he does respond to the visual cue. That's a good boy. Good boy. And he does really like to hug, don't you? But you're not allowed to be silly while you're doing it. You're not. We want him to learn through association that this is about being calm. Good. Not about being silly. So, good job. So you would just, for the verbal cue, say hug, and then do the visual cue. Good boy. Good, I know. Good job. Very good. So this is the hug command that we have right now. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to help you or answer any questions.